tune in.
Welcome to the newest fantasy football show on the net, The Sideline. What I want to do is focus on some of these big matchups, some of these big games happening around the NFL, and how that is going to affect your starters and some of your main guys that you put on the field.
All right, moving on here to my favorite segment on Sideline Hot Topics. We got to talk about the Dallas Cowboys, guys. I mean, this is getting bad. And listen, it's not getting any easier for them. They lose Tony Romo, and their schedule's not getting easier. They got to go to Philly, to New York, to Green Bay. They host New Orleans and Indianapolis. It's not looking good for the Cowboys. John Kitna hasn't started a game in 2 years, although we did talk about him before. He's a serviceable guy. What do we really think about Dallas's chances to turn this thing around? Is there any hope?
None. Top 5 pick. Didn't I say at the beginning of the year? I said Dallas is going to have a top pick.
Maybe if they drink some holy water or something.
For what? It's
they
not
need a
gonna help
miracle.
them. Yeah,
No,
beyond that.
they do need a miracle. But listen, again, we talked about the Madden curse. Okay, what I think is going on here, this happens a lot of times when a good team is the host city for a Super Bowl. They always talk about, oh, how great would it be if they could play the Super Bowl in their home stadium. It happens every time.
That is true.
There was so much hype going into the season. Dallas is hosting the Super Bowl. They're one of the top teams in the league.
All the experts picked them to win. Every last one.
It happens every time. And again, why do these teams always fall victim to this, where they start talking about in March that, hey, we're hosting the Super Bowl, we'll probably play in it? Like, that's just ignorant to me.
I think it makes them overly confident, and then they just kind of.
Oh, no question. I mean, no question. And then as soon as a little adversity starts to seep in, all of a sudden, not only are you just now dealing with the pressure that goes along with just winning a game in the NFL. After week 2, Dallas is already getting questions about the Super Bowl, and are they going to be able to make it to the Super Bowl in their home stadium? Like, guys, you know, as Jim Morris Sr. once said, playoffs? I mean, really? Like, let's win a game.
What it really boils down to is all this pressure that got up on them. We knew last year about watching Dallas in the playoffs. They had holes all throughout their team. They were not a Super Bowl team last year. They were a playoff team last year. They didn't do anything in the offseason to fill those holes. Not one thing. You know you needed a running back. What did you do?
Draft a wide receiver in the first round who's a good player, but did you need a wide receiver?
Didn't you trade a top pick to get a wide receiver?
Yeah, ridiculous. I mean, again, Jerry Jones.
Didn't fill any holes.
Jerry Jones again. So now you've got a lot of them.
And now you got even more holes than last year, because then you lose players. And now you're already in a division where it's arguably the defenses are some of the toughest in the NFC.
No question.
So you play each other all the time. They know what they're going to do. They're going to get up in you, raw, and take it from you. And that's basically what's going on. That's what's going on. That's just how it is. The Cowboys right now are getting taken advantage of. They're like hookers. Go there. You got $50 hook. You give it $10 and run away. That's just how it is. Period.
And there you have it.
Wow.
Don't know other way to say it.
For analogies, wow.
All right, moving along now. Week 7, Cleveland's win over New Orleans. Did anybody see this coming, or better yet, did anybody see Drew Brees just turning the ball over like it didn't matter?
I'm gonna admit, for the first time on the show, I was wrong.
Wow.
Because if my memory, which is not the greatest in the world, but I have been drinking green tea, if my memory serves me correct, I did state that Cleveland were going to get their doors blown off. And the reverse happened.
We can check the tape.
I am sorry. I am sorry. Saints, I put too much faith in you. I'm sorry. It won't happen again. I'm not saying it no more. It's only one time.
Not only was this Cleveland, this was Cleveland with Colt McCoy making his second start.
Not even Jake Delhomme or Seneca Wallace to quarterback. Their third-string rookie who hasn't played.
But wait a minute. But now the Saints, now you got to give him a pass now, because no Reggie Bush, no Pierre Thomas, Darren Sharper's been on PUP. I mean, you got to give him a pass now. I guess I forgot about the fact that Drew Brees is the guy that's causing the most problems here.
Wow.
He looks like Brett Favre reincarnate. He does.
Oh, why you got to bring Brett Favre?
Because he's a diva and he needs to retire.
Why don't you just stick to Drew?
I don't need to. Brett sucks. Brett's a perfect dinosaur.
All right, now with Brett Favre's poor showing, at Lambeau, at Green Bay. I mean, what are we really talking about here with Minnesota? Do they really stand a chance of turning this thing around? I'm going to say yes on this. Now, and the reason why is this. If Brett can get healthy, or if he's not hurt as bad as they're saying, they kind of have a soft schedule. They got Arizona. That should be a win.
But they've
got Chicago coming up, which Chicago, Jay Cutler might throw 8 picks. Washington has been up and down. Buffalo's been up and down.
I win at Buffalo.
I like Minnesota actually just because of the schedule. If Favre can get healthy here.
Well, I wouldn't say it's so much about Favre being healthy, because one thing I will say about Favre, even though I hate him, he is one of the, if not the toughest player, not quarterback, toughest player in the league. It's his decision making that I'm questioning. It's okay to take a sack, especially on first and second down. You can take a sack because why? You still have Randy Moss. You still have Adrian Peterson. Take a sack. Throw it away. It's your decision making that's killing you right now.
I'm going to go out. I'm going to go out here on a limb, and I'm going to say something that is probably going to get me in trouble. No, I'm just playing. But at this point in his career, I'm going to call Brett Favre a front runner. And what I mean by that is when everything is going good, Brett Favre is good. When things are bad, he starts pressing too much. That's when he starts making bad decisions, throwing interceptions. Brett Favre, at this point in his career, is not a guy who I think is capable of playing and being the only guy that can get things done when the chips are down. He needs everything else to be good. Defense has got to be playing good. Running game's got to be good. And then he's okay. But when he has to be the guy to put the thing on his shoulders, he's making bad decisions, throwing picks, pressing too much.
When you're falling down, you should not be throwing the ball. Fall to the ground. Hold on to the ball. Don't fall and like, oh, look there. No, that's not.
He made some horrible decisions. I mean, he's got to call it what it is. Come on.
If he would have took back 2 of the interceptions, they probably would have won the game because he just hit.
No question.
Devo, come on, dude, for real.
All right, now there's a couple must-watch games this weekend. We're going to give all of our hosts here a chance to pick one. I'm going to start it off. I'm going, of course. I know Gerard's going to make fun of me because he hates it that I'm all over the Patriots. But tell me that New England and Minnesota, with all the storylines, is not a must-watch game. First of all, it's a huge game for the Vikings.
Yeah, they have to win this.
They have to win.
This is a must-win.
You've got the Brett Favre situation going on. You've got Randy Moss going back to face his old team, and you've got a hot New England team right now who's a one-loss team in the AFC. With Danny Woodhead leading the charge. This is a must-watch game for me.
I'm also wondering if Randy Moss is going to give them some signs. Now, you're no Patriots.
No question. Listen, I've been talking about this all week, and here's what I can tell you, is that this is so blown out of proportion. Every time they start talking about, stealing the signs and will Randy Moss give away the Patriots offense, dude, this has been going on since football was invented. Teams have been, quote-unquote, stealing signs. That's what you're supposed to do. Now, unless Randy Moss is going to play middle linebacker for the Vikings.
Nothing he can do about
the defense.
There's
nothing. What's he going to do, stand on the sidelines and yell, hey, they're going to run the ball? No, I mean, it never happens like that.
Isn't that what audibles are for?
Exactly.
So, yeah, they might line up one way, Moss give a signal to call audible.
The most impact Randy Moss is going to have in a situation like this is this week in practice, he's been telling Minnesota's receivers, listen, this DB likes to play like this. When they're rolled up in this kind of coverage, expect them to do this. But still, once the game starts, once the ball's kicked off, it's all about what happens on the field, and Randy Moss will be a non-factor when it comes to that.
He's a genius when it comes to just disguising his formations.
And not only are they the best, the Patriots the best at stealing signs, they're also the best at disguising them.
Yes, they are.
Gerard, give me your must-watch game.
My must-watch game is Pittsburgh and New Orleans. Just because the Steelers, we already know the Steelers are for real.
I hate to admit it because I hate them, but they are.
New Orleans, you already lost to Arizona and Cleveland. Steelers are a different beast. They're a better team. If you lose this game, you might be out.
But seriously,
you're third in the division.
If Arizona's defense and Cleveland's defense hammered you, what do you think Pittsburgh's defense is going to do? Seriously.
Well, Pierre Thomas is supposed to be back.
Well, and Reggie Bush might play, and Darren Sharper is back in the secondary, so maybe now Drew Brees all of a sudden will just come to life. I don't know.
Bush needs to keep making those commercials with the Chia Pets and not worry about football.
Bush needs to get back with Kim Kardashian.
No,
that's not going to happen.
She just outed him on her show.
I know, that was awesome.
I'm saying,
that was awesome.
You're dumb for that, homie.
Did you guys hear the part where he said, make Miles Austin pay for your car wash? That was awesome, Reg.
I bet he did. I would have.
Aviator, give us your must-watch game.
I want to see the Jets and the Packers.
That's a good game. No, I'm with that.
I'm loving the Jets and Tomlinson.
No, I like it.
LT has, yeah, he's good, right?
That's a great game. I always look. I gotta say, I love watching Aaron Rodgers play at this point. The guy they talk about Brett Favre having a cannon. Aaron Rodgers has a howitzer back there,
killing
bro.
me with those interceptions. He's doing it too.
Well, but here's the difference between Rodgers and Favre. Rodgers will throw 2 or 3 picks, but he'll throw 4 touchdowns in the same game. That's the only difference.
Favre would throw 5 interceptions and
1 touchdown,
fumbles, and call 9 timeouts, and then lose. I mean,
this will be interesting watching the Jets come off a bye week. You know, they're just going to be that much more fresh.
With a healthy Revis.
With a healthy Darrelle Revis, LT gets another week to rest his legs. I'm loving this. This is going to be another great game.
Nice.
Well, that's going to do it here. Week 8 of Sideline. As always, we're going to give everybody a chance to give a final thought. Greasy, give it to us.
Well, it's not a thought. It's just a statement that was running through my mind. I go out, maybe once someone would just call me sir with not saying you're creating a scene behind it. That's all I want. Please. Thank you.
Sir, you're creating a scene. I love that.
That's all I want. I hear that too much for no reason. I'm a nice guy.
I don't do it.
You never do.
Yeah, it went over your head. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
I just want to say,
oh Jesus, please.
X chromosomes.
No, she did it. No, she did it. I almost told her before the show, guys. Listen, I'm gonna apologize to everybody watching.
This far.
Almost told her before the show.
Almost made
it. Don't. I can't even say it. Don't do that. Or we're gonna kick you off the show for good. She did it. It happened. My mind is so blown right now that I don't even have a final thought. I'm just gonna throw it out. It's gone. Be back next week, same place, same time. Week 9 coming at you next week on Sideline. Have a good week, everybody. Enjoy those games. Later.
She just
she did
stabbed in my eye. It's just like
when she went like this, I thought. Yes, we're gonna
and she did it backwards. It's like a flying albatross.
No, it was.
She was like this.
Here we go, shawty, here we go. Time to watch my favorite show. Every Saturday I'm tuning in. Everybody know Jimmy Fair, what it do? You know that's the host. We on the 50-yard line, 50 more to go. My Sideline TV on repeat. Win the Super Bowl and never leave my fantasy. And if you gotta work, well, you should call off. They not like pre-song, shout it, they don't fall off. Here we go. Here we go. It's time to tune in. 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 Here we go. Here we go. It's time to tune in. 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 It's time to tune in.